Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, new numbers on how many kids were infected with coronavirus at the end of last month have some rethinking the reopening plans of schools. We'll take a look at how local numbers compare to those across the country. Plus, as the country prepares for the start of the very different school year, one local nonprofit is stepping in to fill a crucial gap for those parents who must go back to work and are struggling to figure out what to do with their kids. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Alex Fisher. Maddie's taking the day off, and there are more than 5 million known COVID-19 cases in the U.S., according to Johns Hopkins University. One group that has seen a noticeable rise in infections, children. John Lawrence reports.
Public health officials warned about opening schools in states with COVID-19 hotspots, but others want students back in class.
For the most part, they do very well. I mean, they don't get very sick. They don't catch it easily. They don't get very sick.
In terms of the risk to school kids, this is lower risk than seasonal influenza.
However, medical experts say having youth in crowded hallways and classrooms poses a significant threat.
You're waiting for a second fire to erupt. You're pouring fuel on a raging fire.
More than 800 students in Georgia's Cherokee County are in quarantine due to possible coronavirus exposure. This 1 week after in-person learning began.
We are not out of the woods yet, and we cannot take our foot off the gas. I'm asking that all Georgians continue to remain vigilant as we continue this fight.
Over the past 4 weeks, there's been a 90% hike in known COVID-19 cases among U.S. children, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association.
We think we're going to see an explosion of cases in September that will far surpass what we saw after Memorial Day, and that this is just going to continue to increase and getting higher and higher in terms of numbers.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The report from the AAP and the CHA is expected to be revised weekly. Here in Kern County, 2,767 kids between the ages of 0 and 17 have tested positive since March. That's about 11% of our county's total infections. Late last month, we learned a teenager was the first child to die from coronavirus in California. Doctors say the teen had underlying conditions, although specific details have not been made public. Now to the latest on the coronavirus crisis here in Kern County and another spike. Public Health reported 857 new infections. These spikes were to be expected now that the state's testing database is back up and running. More than 24,000 people have tested positive for the virus since March. More than 2/3 of those cases are considered active. 249 people are in the hospital and receiving treatment. 171 people have died. Nearly half of those deaths were from July. New numbers are set to come out at 10 a.m., and you can download our 17 News app and receive that breaking news on your phone. Governor Newsom did not have much to say following the resignation of the state's public health director, Sonia Angel. Angel stood alongside Newsom at the start of the pandemic and has been a part of key decisions in the process. Her resignation comes after the technical issue led to the inaccurate COVID-19 data. On Monday, the governor confirmed the Department of Public Health knew but did not immediately notify him about the issue.
We're all accountable in our respective roles for what happens underneath us. I don't want to err any more than that.
Health and Human Services says the reporting issue is fixed and that counties now have access to data they can process for planning and contact tracing. The state confirms it is working on a new electronic reporting system for COVID-19. Remember, you can help COVID-19 patients even if you're not on the front lines. If you have already recovered from COVID-19, you can donate your blood to help other people recover faster. Houghton Community Blood Bank says out of the roughly 7,000 people who have recovered from the virus, just over 200 have donated so far. And if saving a life isn't enough to get you in the doors, the blood bank is also offering survivors a $50 gift card to just simply donate. That promotion has been extended till August 15th. For more information on how to donate, just call 616-2 2575 or visit their website at hcbb.com. Switching gears now to wildfires across California, and firefighters are making the progress on the Stagecoach Fire that started last week. The fire is still burning to the south of Lake Isabella, but now containment of the fire is up to 77%. The fire has grown to more than 7,700 acres. 15 homes have been destroyed, along with 25 other structures. Plus, 5 other buildings have been damaged. The Kern County Fire Department says evacuations were lifted this weekend in several areas. You can find the latest information on our website, kget.com. Now to another fire you may have seen on Monday. It started off Highway 99 near California Avenue around 6 o'clock last night. No one was hurt, and crews put the flames out quickly. The off-ramp to California Avenue was closed briefly. No word yet on what started the blaze. Millions of Californians had their power shut off during wildfire season last year as a precaution. You may remember that. And this week, California's largest utility companies will face questions from state officials about what changes they have made so shutoffs will be more organized and smaller than last year. SoCal Edison will have its briefing today at 1:30. It's set to go until 3 p.m. And then it will be PG&E's turn on Thursday. That company's briefing is at 10 a.m., goes until 11:30. We have a link to those meetings, and more information can be found on our website, kget.com. The Board of Supervisors will not have its regularly scheduled meeting today. The next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 18th. Those meetings will start at 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. If you're interested, the agenda for that meeting will be posted on Thursday. It has now been more than 10 months since 17 News first broke the story alleging Kern County Fair officials misused and mismanaged hundreds of thousands of dollars of state funds. Yesterday, a spokesperson with the DA's office confirms with 17 News it is continuing with this investigation into claims fair officials misappropriated more than $300,000. A state audit brought to light last September alleged, among other things, that fair employees worked on side projects while on state time. All as senior fair officials and employees used state credit cards to purchase illegal out-of-state trips, lavish meals, wasteful tips, and alcohol. The DA's office did not provide any further comment, noting this remains a pending investigation. In your 17 Core Watch, the former McFarland basketball coach accused of sexual misconduct is due in court today. Fernando Pineda is accused of inappropriate sexual misconduct with a player on the JV basketball team. It happened back in 2018. Court documents show that Pineda allegedly told the student if he did not do as he was told, he would not make it to varsity. Now he's due in court this morning for a readiness hearing. This hearing has been rescheduled several times in the past. It's time to head back to Bayside High. NBC streaming service Peacock has released the new trailer for its reboot of Saved by the Bell. There's some nostalgic callbacks and familiar faces like Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley. There's also a reference to Berkley's memorable storyline about taking caffeine pills. This Saved by the Bell reboot is about a clash of cultures when students displaced by low-income school closures are sent to privileged schools like Bayside. The new show is set to premiere later this year. You know who is going to be very excited about this? Maddie. She loves this show. And I'm sure she's going to be very excited to hear this news as well. So, all right, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kev, because we're, of course, dealing with the heat wave, but you're also taking a look at the tropics.
We're taking a look at the tropics, and we're going to see a swing in our temperatures as well. But, yeah, we've got another storm that we're tracking, and it's out in the Pacific, Alita. And Alita is now a Category 1 storm, and winds are gusting to 115 miles per hour. It's on a track to move north, just west of the Baja Peninsula, and it doesn't look like it's going to have much impact on us. We'll have to watch the moisture field with this as we head into Friday into the weekend, but that's when we expect it to be post-tropical by Friday into the weekend. Let's take a look at our weather, and we've got clear skies right now, 79 degrees, north-northeast wind at 5 miles per hour right now. And as we take a look at the almanac, again, we should be right around 70s. We're 9 degrees above the overnight temperature, and we should be right around 97 for daytime high, and we'll be close to that this afternoon, and far from that, 111, and that was set back in 1940. 40. Here's a look at temperatures, and we've got 70s in all areas of the valley, and then for the mountains, 50s and 60s. 57 in Pine Mountain Club, Tehachapi at 63, and then up in the Kern River Valley, we've got 70s. 73 for Lake Isabella and Ridgecrest, currently near 80 with 79. Not much to show you on the satellite and radar except the coastal areas. We are going to see a little bit of cloud cover to start this morning, and then that'll give way to mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon. And right now, current temperature is 63 in Sacramento, 73 in Fresno. We've got 60s down to the south and cool off nicely out of Vegas. 84 degrees currently right now, and we are up actually 3 degrees from where we were yesterday at this time in Bakersfield. We're down 3 degrees in Fresno and down 1 degree out in Los Angeles. And we've got a few troughs we're tracking out of the north. Then we've got this ridge to the east. It's this ridge that's really going to amplify west for the weekend, giving us that warm up. But in the short term here, we're actually going to see a little bit of a cool down. So enjoy it while it's here. The other thing we're looking at here, we've got a little bit of moisture that wants to make its way in from the southeast. Put this back into motion, pause it there, and then some of that moisture moves east into parts of Arizona. And that's Friday, 4 a.m. Put it back into motion, and most of the moisture stays east of us. But it's something we're going to have to watch. And I've introduced a little bit of cloud cover into the forecast, and you'll see that in just a minute. Here's a look at the headlines. Day 3 of the heat wave, number 6. And that is today. Central Sierra will see a few isolated thunderstorms, as I mentioned. Subtropical moisture, we'll be watching for that in the coming days, and a big weekend warm-up is on the way, and you're going to see that on the 7th day. Here's a look at the air quality today. Improving. Your AQI today will be moderate with a number of 87, and here's a look at the numbers. Bakersfield at 101, 100 McFarland, Delano at 100, 97 out in Taft for the mountains and the Kern River Valley today, 87 in Frazier Park, along with Tehachapi, 90s for the Kern River Valley, 96 Lake Isabella, and then out in the desert, we're looking hot in Ridgecrest, 104, and then Mojave at 97. Here's your extended forecast, and you see what's going to happen here. Tomorrow, 101. Then we see kind of a big drop, 97 on Thursday, but then it's all said and done, and that ridge really builds on in. Look at the numbers heading into the weekend. We're going to be 105 on Friday, 106 on Saturday, 105 on Sunday, and then a slight cool down on Monday at 102. As we take a look at the mountain forecast, also getting a little bit of relief on Thursday, then we're right back up into those 90s. And the one thing you're going to note here is, yes, maybe a little bit of cloud cover as well as we get closer into the weekend. And then as we take a look at the Kern River Valley forecast, we'll be looking at also a little bit of cloud cover as we get closer to the weekend. And you can see those temperatures right near 102, 103. So yeah, there is a little change. And again, I talked about that subtropical moisture, Alex, and you see that in the forecast introducing a little bit of cloud cover as well. And when we see the heat and we see a little bit of this moisture encroach us, humidity values increase as well.
That is not going to be a fun weekend to look forward to.
And I just want to know, we're like 50 feet apart right now.
Okay. Actually, we're probably like 12 or something like that. I know, it seems like.
So yeah, that's something we're going to have to watch for a little bit. So
you said that it's going to be humid as well?
I think we'll see humidity values increase a little bit for the weekend because we're expecting to maybe see a little bit of cloud cover, and those temperatures are still going to be hot, 105, 106. So
that is not fun. It's like East Coast weather.
Exactly. Well, it won't be that humid, but you'll feel
we're not used to any humidity. So all right, thanks, Kev. Welcome back. Your time now is 5:20. Looking ahead, Bakersfield College is getting students ready for the new school year. On Wednesday, there will be a virtual express enrollment event for students to register for the fall semester and sign up for classes. It's for new and returning students. They can also take advantage of one-on-one help from counselors who can walk students through the enrollment process and financial aid. It's happening Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. You can find more information on the Bakersfield College website. Well, as the county prepares for the start of the very different school year, one local nonprofit is stepping in to fill a crucial gap. 17's Taylor Schaub joins us live this morning with a look at how the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County are helping working parents keep their career and child's education on track. Good morning, Taylor.
Well, good morning, Alex. For a majority of families, daily childcare is critical, but with options limited and it being increasingly costly, many parents don't know where to turn with just a couple of days left until the new school year starts.
It's basically, like if he's at school.
Jessica Mion is a mother of 4. She says the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County has been a godsend for her first grader.
It really does help me a lot.
Words Program Director Juanita Racinos has heard a lot lately.
I've had parents that have thanked us because they didn't know whether one of them was going to have to quit their jobs or what they were going to do in order to stay home with the kids.
She says the club is committed to serving families during this unprecedented period.
We are open from 7 in the morning to 6 p.m. We'll give the kids breakfast, lunch, and a supper in the afternoon.
To aid with the perils of virtual learning, Racino says the club is recreating the classroom experience, separating kids by grade level, offering Chromebooks and headsets to those who need them, and having on-site tutoring available to all.
And they're able to be that extra assistance for the kids as well. And then during their breaks, we're able to feed them snacks, or we're able to help them with anything that they need or that they're confused with.
All with a strict safety guideline, including mandatory temperature checks and face shields for every child.
We keep them still to their 6 feet apart. We have pretty much everything you can think of, sanitation stations in each room.
While the service isn't free, the cost is well below most private options. And Racino says the club is working hard to make sure no child gets left behind. And Alex, the child care programs are offered at 3 of their locations, including the Armstrong Youth Center on Niles Street. For more information, you can go to our website, KGET.com. In Southwest Bakersfield, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
Tense moments outside the White House yesterday evening after a Secret Service officer shot a man. Authorities say it happened just before 6 o'clock when a 51-year-old man approached an officer and said he had a weapon. The Secret Service says the man ran aggressively toward the officer and withdrew an object from his clothing. He was shot by the officer when authorities say he crouched in a shooter's stance as if he was going to fire. The officer shot the man in the torso. Law enforcement will not say if a weapon was found on scene. The suspect and the officer were taken to a hospital for treatment.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.